Alright, so I got a new project here. If you've been following along on the channel, you can see this looks very different than the last vehicle I had. So we got this 2012 Lexus GX460 now. That's my next project. The Alpha is no more. So if you were here just for the Alpha, hopefully you stick around, but if not, pleasure having you here. Here's the next thing. So this video, we're going to be wrapping the roof, but first thing I got to do is remove the antenna and remove these factory rails so that I can just tuck and wrap this roof a little easier. Shouldn't be too complicated. You can access this from the back. I'll go over that. And then I do have just a regular sunroof that I'm going to use some knifeless tape around, and that should be pretty easy to manage. So let's get it going. On this side, I got the roof rail removed, and there's basically 3 points of attachment here, and then there's one in the rear. They use a 12 millimeter ratchet. Comes off pretty easily, and these rails will just pull right off. So I'm going to go do the other side and clean it up. All right, so I got this little wrap tool that's perfect to fit in, and it pries this open super easily, and it exposes the bolts there. And I got my wrench here with a little bit of an extension. I find that helps a little bit, and it comes right off, no big deal. All right, so all 6 bolts have been removed, and this should just kind of wiggle right off. Boom. All right, so now it's time to clean these out a little bit more. I got some compressed air. All right, so next phase is going to be to remove the antenna here, and it should be fairly simple to do so. All right, so I got a few different automotive clips here, and ideally you're going to use something plastic, so I'm going to use this one, or I think, yeah, okay. So you take that out first, okay, and then let's see, it looks like that and that. Okay. All right, so we got this out, and I'm going to keep it plugged in, and then I'm just going to kind of pry away at the seal here, and thankfully it's coming off easily. I'm going to try to take off as little as I need to, and that should be good. So just kind of let it hang to there, and then there's a couple clips here that I'm going to undo, and here as well, and then this should be able to plop down without having to remove the adhesive or anything like that. Yep, so we got clips right here, so you want to just pull down 1, and right here 2, and now this is a little bit more free. And let's take a look. Let's see what else needs to be loosened, if anything. So now that these clips have been removed or disengaged, there's an interesting little piece back here. So this little green situation, I've never seen one of these before, was kind of up covering the bolt in there. So I had to slide this off, kind of wiggle it off, and we have a 7/8 bolt up there that is holding the antenna. So let's get it off. Not a ton of space to work with. Once you loosen it though, your hands can do the rest. What's up, little guy? And then, so this is what's holding it there. So I'm doing this live. Let's see what happens. We'll pull this down. We'll see if there's anything else kind of holding it. Stay tuned. All right, so I removed that, and this is wiggling pretty good, but I don't want to force it. So I want to see if there's anything else on the inside, maybe another clip that I am missing. All right, so you can see how there's some kind of copper looking clips right there. Let's see if it'll focus. They look a little different. So on this side, focus, focus, focus. You want to kind of push the right, so the passenger side, kind of push that in, tilt it, and then kind of wiggle it, push it from the inside, and it'll come out. So that's what was kind of preventing it from just easily sliding out, these little clips on the left and right. So just take your time, be careful, and then it comes right out, no problem. All right, so I got the roof a bit clean, sprayed it down with some alcohol, and now I'm gonna give it a clay bar. You know, this car's old, 12 years old, probably has never been clay barred. You know, no one's really gonna see the roof that much, but I just wanna take it through the process of a proper wrap, try to, you know, pick up any imperfections that might show up, just because I know it will bother me knowing that they're there, even if most people, including myself, won't be looking at it, especially if I end up getting a roof rack. So, but you always want a clay bar before you wrap. Okay, so I got the car, or I should say I got the roof prepped. I thought I was going to do a little bit more prep with some knifeless tape, but after opening the sunroof here, the big factor with these sunroofs is whether or not this piece here comes up above the body line or the roof line of the vehicle, making it a raised object. In this case, it is pretty much flush with the roof, so I don't see this being an issue. I was going to run knifeless tape on the sunroof and then cut and then open it and then tuck, but I think because this isn't going to be in the way, I should be able to wrap it with the roof open and just kind of use the body lines to cut off the paint and tuck and wrap nicely for a good firm finish. And then I was also going to run, so this knifeless tape, I was going to run it in this seam here, and I realized that I don't really need to take the time to do that, because since I removed the molding, I can kind of use the open space here to run the knife, and it should still be a nice clean cut off the paint without using knifeless, and save a little bit of time laying the knifeless, and also just save a little money not wasting the knifeless on an area that don't really need to be using it. And if it's not the straightest cut, guess what? It doesn't matter. It's going to be covered by the molding and the roof rail or the roof rack that will come in the future, hopefully. So in terms of prep, the thing's done. I'm going to go over it again. Come on, lighting. Going to go over it again with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, before I lay down the vinyl. But other than that, things good to go. Another tip I'll add is if you're going to be wrapping with the sunroof open, you want to make sure you clean in there as well, because the static from the vinyl, the stickiness, the adhesive may pick up any debris, any loose debris in there. So definitely just try to clean a little bit extra. Even if it does pick up, hopefully it stays in the scrap area. But again, just to be extra prepped, extra prepared, extra clean, I should say, it's a good idea. Take an extra minute there. And then also, even though I'm not going to be wrapping to this side, I did go ahead and try to clean in here as much as possible for that same reason. Even though if I'm stopping here when I'm manipulating the vinyl, I don't want it picking anything up that is left in here. So the more you prep, the better the finished outcome will be. I promise you that. Okay, so the roof is as prepped as it's going to be. Time to throw down the vinyl. So here's a little time lapse. Hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, so I got the vinyl stretched out over the roof. Again, that's kind of the easy part, more or less, if you know the direction to pull. So we got that gloss black, fairly glassed out. So I'm going to start adding some pressure, using the squeegee, getting the air out. Let's go. The roof is done. I could use a little bit of a wiping just to clean it, but the only thing I have to do, actually, I still got to do the antenna there, but other than that, it's good to go. Came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Again, you're not going to see most of it, but hey, it's going to go with the style. Hope you enjoyed the video.